Hey guys, thanks for joining us for this month's VisiSpotlight on attachments. I know you're used to seeing Heath on here, but unfortunately, as he's transitioned to another part of the team, he won't be doing these anymore. You'll have me and Sam instead. So I know there's some big shoes to fill. Hopefully we can live up to the standard that he set, mate.
Yep.
Um, I'll just let Sam start off with the agenda for today.
Yeah, so today we're just going to run through a bit of some Visi terminologies just to refresh everyone's minds. Then we're going to do an in-product demo on attachments. We're going to run through all things attachments and the new attachments modal that we've come out with. We'll do a little bit at the end on our help and support at Visibuild, and then we will just touch on our upcoming Visi Spotlight. So I think just to refresh everyone's memories and minds, I'll just quickly run through some Visi types, template tags, file types, and attachment details. So Visi types, we have four Visi types. First one being an inspection. So think about the inspection as your digitalized ITP or ITP. An inspection Visi usually used when you're checking works on site. So it could be also used for a site walk or a defect walk. And it can really act as a parent record that holds a checklist of tasks and potentially issues that you may find on site. Next type is a task. So a task, Visi, is a piece of work that needs to be done. It can be a personal reminder or a specific check within an inspection. Task breakdown, pretty much what needs to be done and happen to keep the project moving forward. Next type is an issue. So issues can then be broken out into three different types. You have defects, incorrect works, and incomplete works. So an issue Visi records problems that you may have found with works that have already been done. It's obviously normal for your project to have issues or many issues. That's all a part of construction. And then obviously these are logged through the Visibuild platform. And the last type is the NCRs, which is a non-conformance report. So an NCR Visi is usually for more serious issues where works don't meet project specs or potential quality standards. And it usually is just a bigger risk to either quality that highlights a bit more than what an issue is. Next are our template tags. So the two sort of template tags that will especially be mentioned today are stage and discipline. So a stage represents a phase of the project. So this could be structure phase, fit out, or finishes, and it just helps organize inspections and tasks and where they fall within a project timeline. Next is discipline. So a discipline is grouped by the responsible parties or trades. So this is more so for your electrical trades, plumbing trades, structural trades, and that's how a discipline is broken out. File types, I think file types are pretty self-explanatory. So file types we have are file, videos, and photos. And then the last one, just touching on what we're going to be speaking about today with attachments, are attachment details. So you have uploaded and captured. So uploaded is when you take the photo here, say on the platform, and it'll show you when that is uploaded, and captured is when you, sorry, I've mixed those two the wrong way around. Captured is when you take the photo, and it'll give you the record of when that was taken, and uploaded is if you have, say, a document or you ad hoc an attachment, when that file type gets uploaded.
Nice, mate. Alrighty. Well, let's just jump straight into a product demo. So I guess once you're on your project page, what you want to do is you want to go to your overall project location. So for me, it's Visi Place. And what you'll find here is that we actually have this new attachments tab. And if I click on that, what I'll find is every single attachment that is on the whole project. And what we can do from here is apply relevant filters and actually export these out. So just going through a couple of the columns we have here, starting off, we have name. By default, the name and attachment is given is either the name that your device gives it when it takes the photo, or the actual name of the file you have uploaded. But what you have the ability to do now in Visibuild is actually rename these attachments. So if I click into one of these, I can see it's a photo of steel. What I can do is I can add a title, I can add a description such as, I don't know, steel and, structural steel, and it was for my, ground slab, for example. Boom, and that'll actually save. And what we can do from there as well, you can see I've got my engineer's report, which by default was named, 22130. And I've actually just given that a more relevant name, engineer's report for the 29th of the 5th, 2025. So that's a fantastic new feature we've got. Moving on, you'll see linked visis. So what you have the ability to do now is actually link an attachment to multiple visis. So this is feedback that we've received a lot in the past, and we've listened to you guys. We've released this. I think it's a fantastic feature. So yeah, for example, let's say you're doing your rough-ins and it's per apartment, but it's the same drawing used across the whole level. So rather than uploading that same drawing to every single inspection, you can upload it once. You can actually link it to each of those relevant tasks. We'll go into that a little bit further down the line. Moving on, we also have linked locations. So an example here, if I go down to my concrete test result, if that test result is linked to multiple visis and those visis are located in separate locations, what I can actually see if I hover over is exactly which locations these are linked to. So I can see it's piles 1, 2, 3, and 4 that my concrete test result covers. Same thing with my linked visis. If I hover over it, I can actually see which exact visis are linked to this attachment. And if I were to click on one of these, it's going to open up my side panel and I can get specific details in regards to that task. I can see there's other attachments or other requirements that were completed there. So really, really handy tool. I can also see who was uploaded by, which discipline this relates to. If a visi is uploaded, if an attachment is linked to multiple visis which have 2 separate tags, it'll actually list out all of them within here. And then we also have the date it was actually captured on site and the date it was uploaded to Visibuild. And along the top, as Sam mentioned earlier, we have some of those filters. So we have our types, which go your file, photo, and video, which we can filter for. File, for example, would be a PDF. And just one thing I wanted to mention is that you can actually view PDFs within Visibuild. And it all depends on your browser settings. So we've had a few people reach out to us wanting to view a PDF within Visibuild, and they didn't realize that their settings actually weren't toggled on correctly. So just make sure that your browser settings are set to view PDF in browser, and you'll actually be able to view all these within Visibuild. And as you can see, all my attachments here, if I were to go into Tower 1 now, this will actually filter down just to my Tower 1 attachments and any of its child locations. And it'll be the same if I moved into retention piles. It'll only show me our retention piles and each individual pile that's within it. And again, like that same filter, if I don't want to drill down through the location tree itself, I can actually just select that location through the filter and it's just going to show me that specific location. You can also see who uploaded an attachment, like which user uploaded attachment. We can filter for specifics. Now, a great example here is, let's say you're collecting O&M handover documents and you've set up an O&M's location. You can actually filter for that O&M's location and then select every user from that company that has uploaded an attachment. And that way you can just see those attachments from that specific trade and you can export those out of the platform. Super handy filter to have. Stage and discipline, again, like we have your substructure, structure, facade. We can filter for these specifically. I'm going to go for, let's say, substructure, and the discipline might be piling, as I mentioned. And even, let's say, uploaded by, I'll just filter for attachments that I've uploaded myself. So you can see here we've got about 6 or 7 attachments. You can also filter for specific templates. So if you only want to see attachments that were uploaded to your suspended slab checklist, we can set that up through here. Furthermore, date captured. If you want to see only attachments that were uploaded in the last 7 days, you would want to select 1 week ago. If it's attachments uploaded in the last month, you'd select a month ago. And what's great is, you can also set a custom range if you want to find a specific date range there. And now that we've filtered down our attachments, what we can do is we can export these either by clicking export all, and it's just going to export every single attachment that you filtered for. Or I can go through and I can just select specific attachments such as my engineer's report and concrete test results. I want to export these out of the platform. I can just hit that export button at the bottom. That'll prepare the export for me, and I can save that to my computer. It's as simple as that. If I just take these filters off, another view we have apart from the list view is the grid view. So if I click on grid view, you can actually see the photos in a larger view, and you can still select these from here to export, which is a new handy feature we've also gotten. Sammy, you reckon I'm missing anything here?
Maybe just touch on if you want to search for something. Is there a way we can do that?
Good shout, mate. Good shout. Yeah, definitely. So now you can actually search for those attachments. So when you're searching, what the results you'll get is either the original file name that was uploaded or the custom name that you've given it. So if I just go for, search for engineer, I can actually see all my engineering reports here, select all of them, again, hit export, pull them out of the system. Good reminder, mate. Now what I want to show you is how you can actually link these to Visi's. So if I go to, let's say, my retention piles, I can see I've uploaded my engineer's report, and that's been uploaded to my, pile number 1. I can see I've uploaded my engineer's report, but that report actually covers piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I can do is I can go to pile 2, open up the inspection, go to my pre-report checks, find my engineer's inspection, and then when I go to add an attachment, rather than upload, I can link existing. Now, what you'll see here is previously used attachments and all attachments. And basically what previously used attachments is, it just shows you any attachments that you've used previously on this specific template. So for me, it's my concrete pour retention piles template. Anything that I've ever uploaded to that template will appear on this list. Now I want to link in my engineer's report. All I do is simply select that. I can select multiple if I'd like to. I'm only going to select the one and then hit link. And now that link has been made. And then I'll just do the same again. Pile number 3, I'll go through, select the pile, go to my whole point, add the attachment, link existing, and then add that in. Perfect. And now what you'll find is if I actually click on this attachment, it shows me exactly which Visis it's linked to. So I can navigate to each separate task from here. And when I go to that, when I open that attachment, I'll always see exactly where it's linked to. And as Sam mentioned, you can see this attachment was only uploaded. It was never captured because it's not a photo. If this was a photo that was taken, it'll pop up with that captured information, letting you know when it was actually taken. Sam, can you think of any other examples we could show them?
Yeah, what about say like a waterproofer if they were using the same product on each of their inspections? Is there a way they could sort of link in the same test data sheet for those inspections?
Yeah, 100%. All right, we'll navigate over to our residential tower now. And let's just go to a random floor. Let's say floor level 13. We go to apartments and we can see, yep, we got our waterproofing checklists. And if I go into our very first one, I can see that we've got a task to upload our waterproofing product specifications. Now we need to do an inspection per apartment, but this document remains the same for every single inspection. So rather than me uploading this 5 times, what I'll do is I'll go to my other inspections, open it up, go to that very first waterproofing product specifications task, hit add attachment, link existing, and I can actually select that attachment. And now if I go to complete requirements, you can actually just select from there, save and close that Visi, and that's finished. And I can just go through and just do that for each and every inspection. Yeah, I guess if there's any other help that you ever need from us on Visibuild, you can always feel free to use that live chat in the bottom right-hand corner. We usually respond within 60 seconds. We're pretty on top of it. If I should test this right now, it's like, hey, I need some help. Whoop. I'm sure someone from our product team will respond. And just to add to that, we don't use chatbots in Visibuild. So you'll have either me, it'll be Sam, be one of the other coordinators actually responding to you. And we're more than happy to jump on the phone if you ever need, you want to have a, phone call chat. We're always there to help you out. There you go. Sam's back. Cheers, mate. And to add to that, we also do have our help center. So if you hit that question mark in the top right-hand corner, we have a whole suite of help articles that you can refer to anytime you need help. For example, let's say you're building out a template, you just search up the words template and that'll filter out every sort of article we have relating to templates. Let's go back to our slides. Thanks for joining us today. As we said, that's where you can get help. Come join us for the next Visi Spotlight on July 24th, where we're kind of doing like a feature-focused spotlight, where we're covering some of the lesser-known features or recently released features that people have missed. So it's one you don't want to miss. Sammy's going to be running that one, so it should be pretty good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Great
good
work,
one.
Huds. See you later.
If you have any questions, I will reach out to you personally if you